My name is Donald Williams. I'm here at San Quentin. I work for Healthy Oakland. Healthy Oakland is a faith-based nonprofit organization. We're here at San Quentin Prison where we come and connect with parolees paroling to Alameda County. This airport attack is very important to get them at the gate, because if we're not here to get them at the gate, they will end up going to the liquor store, bars, clubs, or whatever, and to them back to their old nature of the things that send them back to prison. So this is very important for we can prevent them, to help them not return to prison. Yeah.
I got busted with some cocaine. Never been one to sell it or anything. If I was to be somebody to sell drugs, I'd be my own best customer. So that's not a good business for me. You know, back in the day though, when I first got in trouble for it, it was possession of that, some marijuana. In the music business, what is there? Lots of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And I partook in lots of all of that, and the drugs have started to catch up with me, you know.
Hey, Mr. Dunn, how you doing, man? What's up? Talk to me.
In '99, I was sitting in a cell in North Block at San Quentin, and I noticed I had like a fluttering in my chest. And it actually felt like a butterfly was inside my chest. I'm like, that's weird. So they did an EKG on me and they said, you're in AFib, your heart is not beating correctly.
When you talk about heart failure, you talk about the heart's inability to keep up with the needs of the body.
Okay.
You know? And so as the heart becomes a less efficient pump, then you get more tired, more energy, all these things you're talking about. That's why I asked initially what about heart failure, because that becomes the issue, particularly in terms of weight.
Yeah, I'm fighting to get back on my feet, to have a place to live, you know, let alone be able to afford medical care. And yet, if I don't have the medical care, I may not need to worry about a place to live because I won't be living.
We're finding that when we engage in these kind of systems for clients, they are less likely to use the emergency room, they're more likely to take their medicine, they're more likely to engage with me and start understanding what they need to do to get treated and take care of themselves. And that is really going to, because the model of this is prevention, you know, to provoke prevention, to stabilize and prevent.
Now bringing health care to an often forgotten population. 1 out of 3 of those newly eligible for Medicaid under the Affordable Care Act are expected to be former inmates after their release from prison or jail. It's a story that hasn't gotten a lot of attention, but it represents a big change. Sarah Barney of the Kaiser Health News collaborated with the NewsHour on this report.
The Santa Rita Jail outside Oakland, California, is one of the largest detention facilities in the U.S. Some 3,000 inmates are currently housed here, and many require medical treatment.
Hi, Jackson.
It costs the jail $28 million a year to provide medical and mental health services to the inmates. The pharmacy dispenses about 350,000 pills a month for conditions like depression, diabetes, high blood pressure, all common ailments among offenders who tend to be sicker than the general population.
So we have all of the medications that are required by doctor's prescription.
Richard Lucia is the undersheriff for Alameda County.
We get a lot of sick people coming, physically ill people who come into our custody. We get them medicated and sort of stabilized. Once they leave our facility, there's no way to know what was going to happen to them in terms of their medical care.
When inmates in California and around the country are released, most leave prison or jail with no health insurance and little access to medical care. But that's beginning to change.
The federal health care law encourages states to expand Medicaid to include all poor single adults, not just those who are disabled or who have children. Although Medicaid won't cover medical care for prisoners except for longer hospital stays, public health experts say the change in the law represents an unprecedented opportunity for ex-offenders when they get out.
Historically, 10 or 11% of folks in detention have been eligible for Medicaid. That number is well over 90% as of January 2nd.
Alex Briscoe is health director for Alameda County. He says enrolling men and women who've been incarcerated into Medicaid will save the county money and help former inmates.
When they do need care, they come to our emergency department. They cost us between $600 and $800 a visit. So the cost drivers in our system are intense. We now have a chance to treat and reconnect communities to care and support.
The county is now making a big push to get men and women into Medicaid when they leave jail.
Come on in, Chief. Let's roll.
Donald Williams is one of those on the front lines of the enrollment effort. A former inmate, Williams now works for a nonprofit called Healthy Oakland, patrolling the city's neighborhoods for those who might be eligible.
I can pick up 3 or 4 guys within a week, and sometimes I just get one, but it's basically all over Oakland.
On the day we caught up with Williams, he was picking up 3 young men who were recently paroled, giving them a ride back to the Healthy Oakland clinic so they could do something they've never done before, apply for health insurance.
So come on in.
25-year-old Rodrigo Salido spent 2 years in the maximum security wing at Santa Rita Jail. He was convicted of burglary, assault, and gang involvement. While inside, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and prescribed an antipsychotic drug.
Planning on staying out this time?
Definitely.
Good, good.
I'm a 3-striker. I can't go back.
Oh, yeah, no, you can't.
Everybody kind of told me, like, dude, you got anger problems and, you know, you need to get some help. I started getting Risperdal and helped me be more relaxed, you know, like not so much on the edge.
Mr. Salido, is there any medication that you're supposed to be taking currently?
No, just Risperdal.
Okay, and the milligrams are?
3.
Salido got out of jail in February and soon ran out of his medication. He's getting a preliminary checkup at Healthy Oakland, but once he gets his Medicaid card, he can regularly visit a primary care doctor, refill his meds, and see specialists like a psychiatrist. In fact, several studies have shown that ex-inmates who have access to health care when they leave jail, especially mental health and substance abuse counseling, are less likely to reoffend. But not everyone supports extending Medicaid benefits to those who have done time. The subject recently stirred debate on the Fox News program, Fox and Friends.
I think a lot of those people who work hard and play by the rules and are paying their taxes and paying their insurance bills say, hey, I was told that this was about helping people with pre-existing conditions. I wasn't told that it was supposed to be about helping ex-convicts and people coming out of prison.
Ovik Roy is a senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute, a conservative research group. While Roy agrees that access to health care reduces recidivism, he says access to Medicaid hasn't been shown to stop criminals from reoffending.
As much as we might intuitively think that this could be a way to address this problem, thus far it hasn't been. The way that Medicaid has evolved over the last 50 years have made it very ineffective because a lot of physicians don't accept Medicaid and don't see Medicaid patients. As a result, it's very difficult for Medicaid patients to get access to needed care.
19 states, many led by Republican governors, have chosen not to expand Medicaid over concerns about cost and federal overreach. Another 5 states are still debating their plans. That decision affects all poor single adults in those states, not just ex-inmates. States that do expand, though, stand to receive a significant infusion of federal funds to cover all of those newly eligible. Efforts to target men and women who've been incarcerated are underway in Colorado, Oregon, Illinois, and elsewhere. Here in Oakland, the county expects to enroll some 18,000 Medicaid-eligible inmates and detainees in the coming years. But even supporters like Alex Briscoe admit a Medicaid card is no panacea for troubled lives.
You can't treat away the problems that face poor communities, right? It's about a good job. It's about a sense of meaning and belonging. It's about a place to sleep. So all of those basic human needs have to be met too. But healthcare can be a tool for social justice if it's delivered effectively and creatively. And that's why the Medicaid expansion is such a great opportunity for us.
Still, it may be some time before ex-inmates like Rodrigo Salido receive any benefits. California, like other states, has been overwhelmed by new Medicaid applications, and it's taking months for people to receive their benefits.
Our partners at Kaiser Health News have more reporting on how the numbers of mentally ill behind bars have grown substantially. You can find that online.
Oakland Unite provides hope for those individuals not only touched by the violence, but those who are directly involved in it, who are trying to get out of that.
The guys that work with us, I'm one of them. This is all I used to do, was violent stuff, make it hard for other people. I woke up in the morning looking for trouble. Oakland Unite helped me stay changed. It makes me feel like I have a purpose.
In the past, I was honestly a part of the problem, and I impacted a lot of people, not just in my neighborhood, but to those I've never met. To know that I can make a change, I can make a difference by just building a relationship with them, and instead of pushing the line of, here, break into this car, here, let's go get you this job.
My mom didn't really understand American culture at all, and I was being rebellious. I turned to the street, ended up doing the wrong thing, drop out of school, and because I had that experience, I kind of understand like how to communicate, work with the parents and the youth at the same time.
We have a monthly case conferencing meeting where information is shared on a regular basis, but then we also take it on ourselves to kind of meet individually and discuss issues.
The various teams, the various providers all have specialties in a sense.
In terms of crisis response, we collectively work with OPD, with street outreach, with Highlands Hospital and our Oakland Unite partners to review every homicide and non-fatal shooting in terms of retaliation.
And then I also go into juvenile hall and I talk with them, make sure that they're doing okay, because a lot of these kids don't have that support in their life.
Oakland Unite has just been so helpful in ways of building collaborations with stakeholders that we may not have met had they not brought us all to the table.
And so I'm really privileged to be able to work in the lives of Oakland youth in partnership with so many great organizations that are committed to being a part of the success and not being a part of the problem.
The youth that Oakland Unite serves are some of the higher level offenders. And so Oakland Unite is extremely important in terms of reducing violence, in terms of keeping young people safe and keeping young people active.
One small event takes place in one small part of town. The domino can create a vicious cycle. What we've been able to do and what we're continuing to do is to disrupt that cycle.
And seeing how critical it is to work with a certain population that are being killed off at a very rapid rate, it's alarming. I don't look at Jabari or anybody else that looks like Jabari or myself as a menace to society or as a lost cause.
There might be a young person between the age of 13 and 35 that we service that needs employment. A lot of times that saves that person's life, keeps them from going back to jail.
85% of the people we work with in our targeted areas in the city of Oakland don't reoffend, don't go back to jail, and actually do something different with their lives.
Contrast helped me with a lot. I mean, like I said, I just got off probation yesterday. Like a lot of people in this generation now, people my age, never grew up with no male role models. He's a great man. I mean, he changed my perspective on a lot of stuff. So what really clicked was when Trell told me, like, yeah, man, I got a job for you. Like a job? Like what? Okay, all right, let's see then. It's
tremendously rewarding to see because that's one less young man that shouldn't be on his way to the penitentiary. They could be going to college versus, incarceration.
What I want from all my clients, I want them to get old. I want them to be able to raise a family, have children, and live a good life. That's what a real man is about, man.
Just to have a voice, you feel me, and have somebody to respect my opinion has just been a blessing to me.
For those who aren't familiar with this program, know that it's real. I know that it's really changing lives and saving lives. It might not be somebody that you immediately can connect with, but it's definitely impacting somebody else's family.
It's a model for other cities to follow. It's so powerful for me to know from the back of a police car to juvenile hall to a group home, a kid can thrive still. Being able to have those services in place at that moment in time change that one life, and that's what makes the job worth doing.
When it was about 51 murders in this city, the bishop said, we're going to do something about it. We're going to hit the street. And she said, come up here, Elder Langford, I'm putting you to work. Well, after that, we organized Healthy Oakland into a nonprofit. Her and I have co-founded Healthy Oakland, which is now Healthy Communities.
I feel Healthy Oakland is a very, very wonderful program for our community, especially here in East Oakland. We're working with, people that are endeavoring to better their lives, and so Healthy Oakland focuses in on your health mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally.
Certain populations in our county have disproportionately bad access to preventive and primary care resources. And the reentry population is among the greatest, has among the greatest unmet need for the traditional primary and preventative care services that are critical for any healthy existence in Alameda County. Our partnership with Healthy Communities and now Healthy Oakland is on many levels. It really began as a collaboration and focused on really on the social determinants of health, looking at those aspects of healthy decision-making and environmental determinants that we could impact through education, advocacy, and outreach.
We have many, many, many men and women who come into the Oakland community, particularly this West Oakland community, and have had no support or guidance or love to help them make a transition from being longtime inmates to being functioning citizens in our community. And primary among those right now are an anger management program which is offered here. I think that we desperately need to improve the opportunity for men and women who are coming out of prisons and coming back into our community.
Well, thank you, Pastor Langford, first of all, for your leadership, your hard work, but of course, most importantly, for your prayers. Let me also thank Bishop Reams, and let me say how honored it is once again to be in your presence and to be with you as one of your dreams become true and become real. You know, it's very seldom we have a chance to witness the planting of a seed, a dream that's being discussed, and then see it come to fruition.
We have a passion for our people, for African Americans men, women, and children. And there is a great need for ethnic sensitivity, for those who understand that there are differences in the health of African Americans. We make up 12% of the population, but we represent 25% of the deaths. If we don't focus on our people, we are going to continue to be a statistic that is not good. So here we focus on our people, and we intend to have the outcomes change and to improve the health and well-being of those who really need it and are underserved, those who are uninsured, underinsured. That's really our major goal.
Yes, we are a faith-based organization, but we're not here to cram the Bible down your throat. We're here to make sure that you're healthy, both physically and mentally. And then if you want to go spiritually, then we can go there as well. But our primary focus is physical and mental health. Everybody needs some type of help with some type of health, whether it be physical health, mental health, or even spiritual health. When you see someone sitting at the bus stop laughing at themselves and there's nothing around that you can think of that would make them laugh, that's because they've retreated inside, because it's a much kinder place inside their mind than it is in the real world.
Healthy Oakland is a beacon light in the community, a community that people have said is down in the mud and degradation of drugs, of crime, poor education and abuse, anger, Healthy Oakland stands as a lotus that grows from the mud. It stands for hope, and the fact that Reverend Langford and Arnold Perkins and Dr. Watson and Bishop Reams have given so much to bring this clinic, this resource to our community, Oakland is the better for it.
What appeals to me most about Healthy Communities is the commitment to the community. And I know that sounds simple, but it's the fact that they really do put their heart into the work, and they have a commitment to serving people in a very respectful way that values and validates the experience that folks have had out here on the streets. It's not easy. And Healthy Communities has positioned itself to serve those clients that are the least likely to be served by any other clinic, and those that, are the hardest to serve. I mean, they've made preventative health care and taking care of self and family a real priority. And they express that in the way that the staff carries itself, and the way that the board responds, and the way that the director provides leadership. So I think there's just a very holistic approach to being here for the community and having that commitment to improving individual lives as well as the community as a whole here, particularly in West Oakland, but I think Alameda County and beyond is the future goal.
You can come in here, it's not just like we're giving medical advice, we give good advice on life, living, the streets. All the staff here are like equipped in certain areas, so it's good. We don't have to send you out too far. I can just walk in this room and get this person for this thing, or I can walk next door and get John or somebody for something else. It's not like I have to send you to this long list and we lose patients. We don't, because it's all within this circle. We do have a good atmosphere because everybody comes from a different background, and they're not afraid to share it with the patients. We're not just pushing, here, take this medicine, take this, it's gonna cure you. We're gonna tell you why. And if you don't take it, what's gonna be the consequences?
I would say that look at what's being done, look at the growth, and look at the trajectory. This is a new clinic. I've worked with a lot of different clinics. Some of them have been around for 30, 40 years. This is a new clinic, as a baby in the grand scheme of things. But watch it as a rising star, because it has been here in the community, understands the needs of the community, understands what, and doesn't just see everybody as a patient or a Medi-Cal visit. This is something that Healthy Oakland has taken on, and that is what we're doing. So it will continue to grow, will continue to expand, and I think those that care about safety on the streets, that care about the health of the community, that care about basically having a community that's suitable for our children to grow up in, where they're not constantly being traumatized, and where we are cognizant of the things that they're being exposed to and how we can make the community healthier. Anyone who is concerned about these things, I think, needs to keep an eye on Healthy Oakland and watch as they become one of the few that's really out here trying to provide a much needed service.
The whole purpose of the project is to welcome home people that are getting out of jail and prison with inspiring stories of people just like themselves that have turned their lives around. I'm Mickey Duxbury, and I'm the project coordinator, and I started this Welcome Home project.
We want to welcome the people that have been in jail and prison back out of jail and prison, because your lives matter.
There's a drug culture. I mean, we all know there's an actual culture that's centered around drugs. I heard a preacher say it best before: a sinner is the only person that can lead other people away from sin. A former drug abuser is going to know exactly what you're going through and be willing to say, hey, you know what? When you feel like using, just come and hang out with me. My name is John Holman. I'm 44 and I work with Healthy Communities. I'm the IT director and site director somebody that helps the community instead of hurting the community.
Lives matter to all of us, because when you heal and you are able to turn away from lives of crime, we can all heal some of the damage that crime and incarceration has done to our city.
My name is Roxanne Perez. So I'm holding the Welcome Home Project. This is 20 of us that were part of this as a whole. It looks like a calendar, but it is actually like a book. It has some of the life that we led for many, many years and what made us get clean. I've been going to prison since I was 19 years old, and I'm 53 now. I got clean at 37. I went into a program, and my thinking wasn't to get clean. I was going to go for 6 months and shoot dope when I got home. But within a month, my heart and my soul started changing. I stayed there for 2 years. I didn't have a clue of how to live. I didn't know how to write a check. I didn't know how to rent. I didn't know how to do that stuff at 38 years old. And I've been clean ever since. And if you just come from love, it's going to come to you. And that's in anything. If I don't look at people like, what can I get from you? What can I give you?
A lot of us were maniacs for a lot of years, and we're not anymore. We've successfully are genuine inspiration for other people that are stuck in the life. Mm-hmm. My name is Aaron Evans, and I am a custom painter. My life story is in this calendar. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be a part of this. I lived so many years of my life in such pain and struggle. To be able to be a part of helping somebody else, all of it was worth it.
Stories. Many of the Welcome Home participants had trauma in their lives well before they were involved in crime. And some of them...
My name is Alice Washington. Love is the reason I did so much time. The man that I love so much is the one that turned state evidence on me. So I'll say this, I know from me being in the system that 90% of us was in the system behind domestic violence, drugs, and love. I actually thank God for being in prison because I was free. I was free mentally. I was able to sit with myself to figure out, Alice, what do you want? When I came out, I knew exactly what I wanted. I wanted to go back to school. Currently, I'm going for my LMFT. I want to deal with women that's been in prison and coming out trying to be a parent now.
They have the support and the resources they need, that they face less stigma and more of a welcoming atmosphere that understands that no one is born a criminal. Conditions create criminality.
Hello, my name is Yuma Sani Lee-Jacobs. I am a former parolee, and I'm free inside. I cried about it. I cried because I lost so much. I lost my kids, my family. You know what I'm saying? In all reality, getting back out of jail, I couldn't go to anyone's house. I go to their house, and it's cool right now because I'm sober. But you could hear it in the back of their minds, you know what I'm saying? How long is this going to last? It's just going to last a few minutes or she'll be back to prison. It was only through the grace of God, through faith. I found out that my problem was my addiction. You got to find a way inside yourself to where you can free yourself from the inside, just like that Bible. You know what I'm saying? And then be on the outs. I'm not going back to prison. I'm not. I'm free. I'm free.
Other people. And when someone can climb out of that space to become a loving father to his children, to become a mother who heals with her estranged parents, to become people who give back to their communities, they speak to the power of the human spirit's ability to heal in spite of tremendous obstacles.